Hi students, in continuation to our previous class, let me introduce in this module transactions which are going to take place on different ego states. So each transaction has a kind of ego state which is coming from individual's thought process. So this module is aimed at to understand the ego states in transactions of an individual, how individual reflects ego states in their communications. If we just look at the ego states, so what are these ego states? So ego states something no, from psychological the structure of personality which comprises of a group of ego states. These group of ego states are in three kinds: parental ego state, child ego state, and adult ego state. Right, these are the three ego states. So the parental ego state is something do as I say, as I tell, as I instruct, as I do. So that is a kind of the communication that reflects the parental ego state. Then the child ego state is what shall I do? Where should I go? So this kind of the communication reflects the child ego state. The adult ego state is I will be frank with you. Right? Is it all right? So this type of communication, no, the transaction comes from the adult ego state. So that means there are three types of ego states in our communications. If you just look at the personality of a person is a collection of behavioral pattern developed over a period of time. We all know that because we acquire our behavior in due course of time. So these behavioral patterns are evolved in different degrees from three ego states. Even Sigmund Freud also said that. So id, ego, and superego. So the superego is equal to the parental ego state, and id is equal to child ego state, and ego is related to adult ego state. So these are the three ego states no, so that are there in the every individual personality. So the parent, adult, and child. A person, mother or a father, has parent, adult, and child ego states, and we just reflect these three ego states in our communications. And a child, also a son or a daughter, no, reflects the parent, adult, and child ego states in their communications. That means every individual, irrespective of their age, so what is happening? So we reflect no, the ego states no, in our communications. So sometimes, though I am a parent, sometimes you will find the child ego state in my communications. Right? Even my child, my son or daughter, sometimes they have the parental ego state of communications in different occasions. So like that, in our communication, you will find that these three ego states are presented very well. If you just look at the parental ego state. So the parental ego state is something like unconsciously acting in a similar way to our parents. So can be nurturing or critical. So nurturing is a kind of the permission and security and the guiding. So you'll find there are two types of the parents. So parental communications, and there are some the parents, they are so nurturing in the sense affection, love, caring, concern, protection, and these kind of the parental communication is called nurturing parental transactions. So you'll find that type of parenting communications. So there is another type of parental the communication like a critical no, the critical parenting, like critical, authoritative, then moralizing, advising, judgmental, disciplinary, talking about all strict and rules and regulations. So that is a critical parent. So you just see that. So these are the different characteristics of no, the parental ego state of communication. So for example, if you see the nurturing parent no, says that, right. So if you just no, pass your examinations, I'm just going to give you so a mobile phone, right? I'll purchase no, the mobile phone as per your choice, right? So it is a nurturing. So then the critical parent is no, if you are not passing, so then so I'll just stop your educations. You no more you will continue your studies if you are not no the passing. If you fail, that is the end. So these are the two types of communications in the parental ego state. So further, if you just look at no, the adult ego state. So adult ego state is living in the present and then responding to the situations through rational thoughts. So it is something very different type of ego state where rationality, objective and logical and factual, really oriented, and then we'll find that no. So this adult communication is something is expected in the workplace, especially with the managers. Managers supposed to conversate and then communicate with others in the adult ego state based on the facts. So sometimes you will find you will understand what is this all about. So you can aware of at workplace how they talk and then their conversation mostly in the adult ego state. So if you just look at the no, the child ego state. The child ego state is something different, and where you will have no, unconsciously, kind of the child ego state is just the coming from the individual. So like primitive and then impulsive, and you'll find that the very the creative, and then you'll find all these characters that are there with the no the child ego state. So now you'll find that there are two types of the child ego states, like nurturing no, the free child and then adaptive child. So that the child that is in a natural and then the free, so that is spontaneous, fun loving, and then curious, explorative, and then mischievous and the playful. So that is the one type of the child communication that you will find with some people. So then the adaptive child is like polite and then obedient and then conforming and compelling, and the adaptive child is different. So generally, the smart people and then very active people are like natural free child. So they are very creative, and then so little professor is actually related to the natural the child. So like you will find that there are two ego states in the child ego state. Further, if you just look at the the ego states, right? The characteristics of these three ego states. I think as we were discussing about these three, the parental, adult, and then child, right? So you can understand. So from this slide, so the you'll find the parental two types, and then child two types, and adult is a kind of rational and judgmental, rational and then logical and facts based. So the parental communication comes out of the judgment and giving instructions and then giving orders. So that is the thing. Child is always complaining and something naughty, right? And then polite, and you'll find that playful, and you'll find the same thing. If you just see that the training leaders are always with the child ego state, right? And the senior managers, they are with the parental ego state. So sometimes you'll find the managers, effective managers, successful managers, always they are in the adult ego state. So you'll find, so this way you can understand the ego states. So if you see the ego states that are there, look at the sentences below and then match with the ego states with the sentences. Like so it is not my fault my drink got spoiled on your new carpet, right? So it is something related to the child ego state, right? And then I wonder, so what might have caused that accident? It is adult ego state, right? If you see that the parental ego state, so right, so you can see that for goodness sake, clear up this that mess. So then, shall we clean up the mess together with a wet cloth? So this is something related to adult, right? I refuse to get involved in this incident. So that is again no something adult related. So like you can see, these are the incidents, and then the fourth one, shall we clean up the mess no the together with the act of no the cloth, the wet cloth. So that is actually related to the parental ego state. So in this way, you can see the parental ego states, and then child ego state, adult ego state. These three ego states are there in the individual communication, and then so we just continue these ego states and different types, and how we can analyze this and then understand no, the individual personality by just understanding the communication of the people. Right. So let me stop here. Looking forward to meet you in the next module.